Hello, my name is Dr. Aldewan Tart, psychologist, serving you the people. Finally, at the many requests, finally answering the question that a lot of you ask me, which is why men and women cheat. Well, really you say, why do men cheat? But I wanted to add in women. Here's why. The latest research, according to an article in Psychology Today, states that men and women cheat at the same rates. So it used to be that we thought that men were just different from women from a biological standpoint and had to spread their seed or couldn't control themselves or had less self-discipline or were less faithful just genetically. But what we found is that actually it's access. So the availability or access to cheat with others is really what leads to more cheating. So now that women have entered into the workplace, they now travel. Women now have an opportunity to be out of town, to have exchanges with receptionists and the same as men. So now the rates are equal. But let me talk about this. That's the number one reason, availability, why people cheat. Okay. Let's talk about what happens in relationships. When it's not about availability, there's a problem. Did you know, according to a new book by Dr. John Gottman, What Makes Love Last, How to Build Trust and Avoid Betrayal, that you can actually predict an affair happening before it happens? Isn't that fascinating? Well, maybe it's fascinating to me, but it should be fascinating to you because now you're able to catch yourself or catch your partner before you have an affair. All right? So let's talk about the 6 or 7 steps of predicting an affair. All right, let's start with probably what opens it up. What kind of is the precursor to an affair happening, which is an emotional distance between, both parties in the relationship. And this happens a lot of times with men and women that work a lot, or they're preoccupied, or a new baby coming into the relationship, and it's just not that time, and so you're not dating, you're not connecting, there's just an emotional distance. So then there's step number 2. You meet someone new, or you kind of meet someone you met casually, but now you all are spending time together, just getting coffee, spending time on your break at work, maybe casually catching dinner or going to lunch together at work, and you're conversing. And then 3, you start establishing a connection with this person by talking about your dreams, your ambitions, your desires, just like you used to with your husband, your wife, or your partner. So now you're forming a strong connection. Am I starting to make sense? So here's number 4. It's called secret keeping. This is where you start going home and your partner asks you how your day, and you find yourself not mentioning the fact that you had coffee with your friend again. Or you find yourself not mentioning that you all went to go work out after work. You just don't mention it. You don't say anything about it. You figure, what's the harm? They're only going to get upset. Oh, be careful. You're starting to have an affair and you may not know it. And then step number 5, and this is probably most critical, this is when you start opening up about the problems in your relationship and trashing your lover, your husband, or your wife to your friend. They're always doing this, the love making's not good, they're not making the money. You start trashing your partner to your new friend. This in psychology is called like opening the door to your relationship house and letting someone else in. Woo! When you do that, you are headed towards an affair. Here's the next step. Step number 6. This is where you start making negative comparisons between your friend and your husband, your wife, or your partner. So you know what? I wish I was with my friend because then they wouldn't trip on me if I watch football. They like watching football when we go after work. When you start making those negative comparisons, or maybe if you're a woman, say, you know what? My man or my partner, you know what? They're always batting their nose up or getting mad when I say you're not romantic. Meanwhile, my friend is like, let's go check out this new jazz club. I really wish I was with my friend versus my husband, wife, or partner. When you do that, you're in trouble. And then the final step is, obviously, a line is crossed, a boundary is broken. And usually they're very soft boundaries. Like you used to just be cordial with one another. Now you're saying, wow, you look nice today. Very sexy. Or you know what, you have some big hands and some big feet. Or wow, that dress really fits you well. You cross a boundary, the other person doesn't stop you, and then you have a full-fledged affair on your hands. The reality is, a lot of times when your partner says, I don't know how it happened, they're telling the truth. But now we know. Now you can see the warning signs before it happens so that we can stay faithful to our partners. I hope that helped. My name is Dr. Tart. You can check me out online at my website at drtart.com, drtart.com. Take care and happy faithfulness.